this is why I said I think it's class has something to do with this too. Like I'm from the hood, like I'm from the lower
I agree.
classes,
I agree with that.
and d- majority of people are not hood boogers, right? This
I agree. No, I
it's
agree.
not just a hood booger issue.
Hmm.
It's the men were cheap for a very long time, and now
Hmm.
the price is going up, and these chicks do not have the currency to get it.
You
And
have
I don't know
choice
what.
now. You have choice, and the thing is, majority of guys, the majority of men still don't believe that black women are actually irredeemable. They don't.
Okay, that's fine. They can believe that, but the market is the market.
It has nothing to do with the fucking market, right?
You think
This is
so?
what they want to see.
For now,
And
Raw
what
Dog
no,
36.
no,
I
hold
think
on,
you
hold
need
on,
to take a trip
hold
to
on, hold on,
Atlanta.
hold on, hold on thing. For now, what do we have? Except
would
now.
I mean, you say okay. I just from what I can see, because this is all just firsthand view of things, and just seeing how things are going with the younger guys, and the price of these little niggas is high,
What do you
and
mean high? What do you mean high?
that if you want a boy a 23-year-old black boyfriend, you got to come correct. You got to be friendly. You got to
Sometimes,
be something.
we what's his name? Just what's his name? MTR just played
Hmm.
a video, man. Talk about basically an avatar of an influencer made $73,000 a month
An
with an
avatar.
avatar with from thirsty guys. A lot of thirsty guys out there.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Mhm.
okay, yeah.
There's a lot of guys that have put up would date Stefco, who's a four, okay, with a bad
So,
attitude, okay.
you say that, I don't
Stop
believe it.
talking about my goddamn
You
Steph
don't
Co BGS.
I
you
think
don't
it's
have
about
to
50
believe it. You don't have to believe it.
Okay,
I deal with this shit every day, man.
all right.
No, no, BGS is right about that with the old Steph Co thing. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
Because
You,
it feels more accessible, right? She feels more accessible.
you,
So brothers will literally be
you,
like, "No, oh, Steph Co is 7. I don't know what y'all
you,
talking about. Oh, Steph Co is
you,
7. Now I
Yeah,
pick
you,
her over Beyonce any day. Now I don't know
you can
over Kelly Rowland."
you
Yeah,
see
go
it
ahead.
all over the place, man. Go to any gym, and I lived in 3 different states, and it's been very consistent from my
Mhm.
from 20 to now I'm 40. The only guys who got who are in there and their girlfriends or whoever they're fucking with is overweight or black dudes. Nobody else is
Yeah.
walking in there with no obese woman unless the dude he's a trainer. Only
Yeah.
black guys. I've seen it in Connecticut, and I lived in Stamford, so money areas. When I went back to Rhode Island, all the way out here in the DMV, it's the same shit. The
oh,
Wait.
he BJS is not full of crap. With my
okay.
own
But what did the
eyes,
dude look like?
that's
What did
Wait.
the dude
Do
look
y'all
like?
think these white dudes
the
chisel
guys are
chin?
in shape. That's my
Wait,
point.
wait, no, no.
But
Let me
it
ask you this question, brother.
it's
Do
the
you
norm.
think Chad? Do you think chisel chin Chad is not piping fat white women?
Yes, he is.
Oh,
Every
okay. That's all right.
But
All
there's
right.
a
That's all
difference
I'm
between
saying.
dating and piping.
I'll
These
agree with
chicks
that.
is getting
I
the
agree with
pipe.
that. I
I don't
agree.
think
I
I'm
agree.
talking about dating. I ain't
Yeah.
talking about
Okay,
piping.
okay, okay, okay. I
I
agree.
might
Wait,
fuck
Mhm.
Steph
well,
Curry,
what's the
but at
difference
that
between
point,
Mhm.
what's the difference between dating and piping?
the
Her
difference.
perception.
No, 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 no. Time.
Because we're actually moving the goalpost, right? Well, go ahead.
The time. Who are you giving the most? Okay, a man's vagina is his time.
Okay.
Okay, and th- I don't see guys actually giving their time. Hugged up at the show with some fat heifer. I don't. They might.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Will. I don't know where you've
Oh,
been.
hugged up with some
I don't
fat
know where
heifer.
you've been. I don't know where
Bruh.
you've been. I don't
You
know where you've
gotta.
been.
Hugged up,
I would
spending
like to
time on the
introduce you to the
phone
black
talking.
community.
Hey,
You
bro.
what?
Clearly you
Anyway,
don't. Clearly you don't know the stats.
go
In
let
in
Steph
our
go ahead.
age, in our age, 39. I know you said you 40, brother. Yeah, you see it a lot.
I
Yes,
see
Yeah,
our
that
age
shit a
a
lot.
lot. I'm talking about
you go to the hood spots, you
the
gonna see
hood,
it.
hood
Yeah,
spot.
you go to the hood clubs, you gonna see that
Yeah,
shit.
forget the
And them,
hood.
and them,
Yeah,
and them
that's
dudes be truck drivers making like 110,000 a year.
Yeah,
yeah. You
that's
ain't wrong.
class. I'm talking about the average guy, construction working guy or guy
Where you
work
think the average guy is?
is
Thank
that.
you.
Yeah, but I don't think. I mean, when I say class, I don't mean like money. I'm talking about culture. Most people
Culture.
know.
Exactly. but
people know how to
culture.
Okay. Let him finish up, man, because it's bullshit, man. Look at see it every day. It's bullshit.
Okay.
I gotta bring this. I gotta bring you around some of the brothers I used to work with at the law office.
No.
Okay, but what was they? Were
You
they
sound
dating
like
these-
one of the women with this shit, man. Bullshit.
No, I
okay?
don't.
You do.
Do you know the obesity rate?
I don't see it. I don't see
Bruh.
it. Not in my
I'm talking
environment. I don't
about
see this.
dating and presenting this fat heifer to your mama and your
Wait,
papa.
wait, wait.
Let me get this right, y'all.
Wait, do you
All
know
right.
the obesity rates?
I
Right.
know
Bruh.
the obesity.
It is
Heavy set sisters is getting wiped up too, bro. To white collar brothers.
no, just
But at
across
what
the board.
percentage?
We have no standards.
What is
Bruh, take a trip to Atlanta and you're gonna see it everywhere.
I think because we're all older dudes, I'm speaking about the younger guy. I'm not talking.
The
I know
younger
what
guy?
we do.
I was literally
I'm
in a
for it.
meeting.
I know what we do. We ain't
I
no
was-
goddamn standards. I'm
younger guy.
talking about the younger dudes, a 22-year-old, 21-year-old.
So the little 21-year-olds are all slim and trim and stuff like that.
Crazy.
No, but my point is they're not dealing with them chicks.
Okay.
It's a
The
lie.
21-year-olds ain't got standards either. They got less standards than we got because they ain't got money.
Hold
The
on,
young
hold on.
the younger folks are actually have more health issues than we did at their age.
Oh, okay.
Like that's a fact. It's a fact.
These women, in my opinion, these chicks out here are screaming their goddamn heads off because they are not they don't have boyfriends. That's what I'm
That's
seeing.
true.
That's what I'm saying. All these chicks on the internet, these fat cows and hood boogers with these weaves, and even the normal chicks with the weave are just all the not good enough women are all over the internet screaming their goddamn heads off because they're alone.
They want a certain kind of guy that they can't
Thank
get.
you.
They screaming because they getting piped, but they ain't got no man, and they trying to figure out what's going on with me. That's what they screaming for.
Let me present a little evidence, okay? Just a little bit.
I don't think you guys know the difference between relationships and
Let me present a little evidence.
that shit is not happening. That is not no.
Hey.
That is not real.
It is real.
No,
That's
it's
it.
not.
Y'all ain't
That's-
never
he
seen
is
those
not
videos?
walking around with this
have a
dick
video.
hand.
Have a video with a guy that's married to a chick that looks just like that.
And what percentage, man? I don't.
He's got
All
a
right,
video.
there you go with percentage again.
Jesus.
He has
From
a
what I can
video.
see,
Brother.
Yeah, okay, all right, man. Let's
This
finish
is
it up.
this is where BGS is 100% correct. The
Yo.
issue is that they're not getting the type of men they want. Dudes are presenting themselves. Dudes are piping. Dudes even want to wife these chicks. They're not getting the baller dudes they want. That's why they're screaming.
Women, yeah.
Yes.
I think that I understand that, but I also think they're screaming because they're not getting no man. That's
You
what
got to
I-
come to the inner
no,
city.
no.
For some, I would argue for
Okay.
some. I would agree with that for
Okay.
some.
And we-
No,
we're
no,
gonna
no.
shorten- We're gonna shorten this up because we spent
Yeah.
like almost 30 minutes on this shit, man.
The STD rates will prove otherwise, but go ahead.
Hysterical.
Who has those? It ain't the men.
It is.
Definitely ain't.
All right, man. Anyway.
Come on.
The
Come on.
moral of the story is that the sisters are back at the table. What y'all gonna do with them?
Yeah, that's the
I'm
more
gonna
of the
tell you
story.
exactly what's gonna
A
happen.
pass.
Nothing.
Oh,
These
okay.
dudes are not taking them.
Yes, they are taking them.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They
Thank
definitely-
you,
Yeah.
Thank you, Michael, for the cash app. Thank you, Salty Balls, for the cash app. Marshawn, appreciate your
Y'all be
mental
killing me with
agility
these
as
names.
always. Yeah, I know, Salty Balls. Yeah. And James, thank you for the cash app. Well, the thing is, man, listen to my monologue. That's where it came from. Most guys, unless they see it, okay, unless they see it, will not believe it.
I
That's why
can
the
agree with that.
That's why the table is important. Okay. Now the reason that the Z's and the A's are not doing it on a regular basis is because of school. It has nothing to do with the women.
So
Okay.
what do you mean by what do you mean school? What does that mean?
In other words, the playground has been integrated.
Mhm.
Having
Oh,
a choice
okay.
between white women, white girls, Latina girls, black girls, and Asian girls, right? Others,
Okay.
right?
I agree with that.
In other words, they grow up with them. Okay. So they'll
Yeah.
they're not as race loyal as we were. So that's changing.
Absolutely.
That's changing. But the thing is, as far as what's going on now is really that's why the table is actually important for the guys that don't believe, but they're not in the dating market yet.
Correct.
Okay, so right now you're saying that you're trying to warn the young of what you're walking into.
And the thing is that okay, we we're talking about online in the manosphere. We're not even talking about the broader groups, right?
Oh, so
Society.
you're just talking about just around here. Okay.
We're talking about the manosphere, right?
I was talking about the broad, all of society, but okay.
Well, they don't even know. They have no idea what the fuck we're talking about.
Shit, I don't think they even need to. They just see what's happening and they are making choices.
No, Negro, trust and believe they don't. Otherwise, Andrew Tate and the other kind of folks would not be a factor.
They're the slowest to adjust.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Because I'm only paying attention to the future, and I just see a lot of adjusting.
Come on.
To Future, or what you talking about the rapper Future?
No. The future, the time, the measurement of time.
Okay. When will artificial babies actually show up? What do you think?
Photographers, this is an Adobe employee. New contract alert. Instead of squinting through the fine print, let Acrobat AI Assistant help you get started. Here are 5 questions to have it dig up for you. Where and how can my photos be used? Any restrictions on social media, advertising, or reselling? Can I work with other clients in the same industry? Or am I locked in with this one? When will I get paid?
They're doing it in
you mean
Japan
when?
already.
You mean when?
Yes.
Oh, it's gonna be a minute. It's gonna not
It's a trick question.
I mean, like, it's a trick. I don't know. How.
5
You let
years.
BGS.
Yeah, 5 years.
Okay.
I swear you was gonna say now, BGS. I thought you were gonna say they're already here. I swear.
They are already here, but the thing is, will actually be produced.
That's why I was like, it's a
5
trick
years.
question.
Okay.
Abort.
A generation, a whole generation is what, 18, 20 years?
Yeah,
What's
about
going
20
on what's going on in the economy is happening now.
Now
You don't have no 18, 20 years.
you don't even have 5.
Exactly.
For what?
That's the point. That's the point.
They don't know that though.
Who's they?
The women, they don't know, and they don't care.
This is the argument that BGS is saying.
Okay.
They
In other
feel-
words,
go ahead.
in other words, you know how women network about who gets laid off, who doesn't have work. They're the first ones to know.
Yes.
HR will call.
I was just about to say that.
HR is gonna call their girlfriends and say, "Hey, they get ready to lay off like 40% of you guys."
They're
They're the first ones to know.
HR's
Okay.
80 to 90% women. Teachers, what, 70 some odd 80% women.
Yeah.
They talk.
Yeah.
They're not
They
like
talk.
us.
No.
Okay.
They talk. They know.
They won't say it to you.
But
won't say
the
it to the
argument
guys.
is
Yeah. What's the argument?
Then-
What's the argument?
the argument is that they back at the table. What y'all gonna do with them?
Yeah.
That's the argument. Okay.
It's the
I
argument.
got the answer, but I ain't gonna say it.
No, go ahead. That's the point.
What's the
This is
answer?
what
They
it's
gon-
about.
Okay, because here's what's happening. The
Mhm.
price of men has risen, like inflation. The price of a man has inflated dramatically, especially
Really?
the price. Yes.
Not all
Really?
the way yet.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
It's rising.
okay.
though.
In fact, the fact what women want was more than men are willing to pay. That's what's happening right now.
What men
Or
are
have
willing
to pay.
Okay. What about what women have to pay? Do they have the currency?
BGS just said that though.
In other
What
words,
Sorry.
the barrier is not men right now as far as dating is concerned. It's women.
Yes.
Okay.
What do you read? Do you actually read this stuff or what? You're just guessing.
I'm just saying it's all just I'm just looking. I'm
Okay.
just out here
Another
looking.
Small sample in Ohio.
You're a
small-
small sample in Ohio, right? Which
Okay.
has what 6 million people in the whole state, right?
Ohio have like 3 people in the whole state. Bone Thugs, this nigga, and what's his face?
How many
But
times
like-
Dre,
and
my nigga?
Dre.
And Dre, exactly. Bone. Shit, LeBron not even in Ohio right now. It's only 3 of y'all niggas. Go ahead. No, I'm playing. Go
And,
ahead.
and from what
I
Dre's
make
telling
jokes.
me, y'all bashing on them big chicks, man. Y'all like
Right.
big chicks in Ohio. Well, I'm
Yeah,
here.
the hood booger diggers.
Where,
I don't-
where,
see,
where are you from? Where are you from?
I'm from Columbus, so
Huh?
I'm from Columbus, and I'm seeing a whole
Yeah, you from Columbus, right down the street from Cleveland. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
a sea
Yeah.
of lonely whales and just mean chicks, people who just can't afford them, who don't have the currency to get a boyfriend. I'm not talking about sex. I'm not talking about getting some. I'm talking about hugged up at the show with a nigga. These chicks is Friday night. They at home by
Yeah,
themselves.
I agree with him to a certain extent on that, BGS.
From 12 to 5, guess where the hood booking niggas are?
There you go.
We ain't just talking about the hood booger niggas. They over there. Well, they over there smashing but
that's enough for them. Okay, that's enough. For
I
them.
don't agree.
And low key, a couple of Square brothers is there too.
Yeah, you don't agree. You might not agree, but the thing is, you're not a woman.
Square misinformed.
So you're saying that women are okay with just sex and no relationship?
Yeah, so far.
Okay. Well, are we talking about what age? What age range are we talking?
From 15 to 50.
I mean, that might be. I mean, like, hey, these chicks are so messed up and they screwed up in the head. That might be a thing. Yeah.
Can I say this?
All right. I mean, we're not here to convince you. Okay.